All right. Hello, everybody. Give it just a few seconds for everybody to get logged in here. Hope everybody is having a wonderful day so far. All right. I think we'll go ahead and get started. So I just want to say welcome to NCCER's webinar about welding. We're so glad that you can join us. My name is Rachel Burris. I'm the Digital Communications Manager at NCCER, and I'll be your host. Today we're going to hear from Dario VanHorne, who's NCCER's Project Manager for Welding. We also have Steve Hidden, Miller's National Account Manager for Welding Education and Workforce Development on. And we're going to learn about some upcoming updates to NCCER welding curriculum and about our recent collaboration to integrate NCCER welding levels 1 and 2 within Miller's Augmented Arc. And now I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to the experts. Dario, the floor is all yours.
Thank you. So today we're going to begin by talking a little bit about NCCER, and then I'll go into what we offer within the curriculum. Um, NCCER's mission is to build a safe, productive, and sustainable workforce of craft professionals. We also have the vision of being recognized by the industry, government, and education as the career development standard for the construction and maintenance craft professional. As you may know, some of you who are familiar with the company, our 2021 Board of Trustees include some companies you're familiar with, including in this case Miller, who in the future will become the employers of our certified trainees. So we work very hard to create and maintain those partnerships that allow us to build better opportunities for the trainees and to stay relevant in the construction and education environment. Um, if you see the slide about NCCER, we are a nonprofit 501c3 education foundation created in 1996. We were developed with the support of more than 125 construction CEOs and associations, as well as academic leaders. And our credentialing program has evolved into containing a curriculum of more than 70 titles. Um, and within that, we have a complete series of more than 70 assessments, 65 in English and 11 in Spanish. We also have some other languages, and we are open to requests. Over 6,000 NCCER accredited training and assessment locations exist across the US. So whenever our trainees complete the programs, their credentials are valid in all of the states. NCCR offers as well, and I'll try not to take too long so that we can get to the exciting Miller stuff. um, NCCR offers alignment with the AWS standards as it relates to welding. We hit on everything from demonstrating safe work practices, um, safely operating and inspecting equipment for different welding processes, to performing inspections and quality control on finalized welds. The curriculum is rigorous in terms of the technical skills that we go over, and we work very hard to keep the material tight and provide relevant context for students. Knowing that the instructors have the goal of providing a uniform standard, positive student outcomes, and accountability measures, we create a program that builds on these needs to guide students toward the skills that will help them achieve success in their career and future education. The standardized industry driven welding curriculum that we offer has been evaluated by SMEs that are both instructors and part of the industry. This allows us to provide the technical knowledge and familiarize the trainees with the employability skills that will propel them in the growing welding industry. Not only do we help them become competitive workers, but also we work with them to create a safe work environment and provide training in frontline management education. And as I was mentioning before, our program uses nationally recognized skill assessments that are both hands-on practical application, and content driven. So this allows the instructors to proctor the trainees and document that each trainee meets the expectations of the field. This leads to the trainees receiving a credential that is useful in all 50 states. Okay, glad that you're good with the sound now, Arthur. Um, NCCR credentials can lead to careers in construction. These credentials are tracked to our registry system, and it allows organizations and companies to track the qualifications of their craft professionals or check the qualifications of possible new hires. Okay. And in welding in particular, we have a competency-based curriculum that has measurable objectives um, taught by our accredited instructors worldwide. Um, our program covers the major welding cutting processes. We have modules that present all the welding processes, including shielded metal arc welding, gas metal arc welding, flux core arc welding, and TIG welding. And we also include the cutting processes, um, oxy-fuel cutting, plasma arc cutting, air carbon arc cutting, and gouging. Additionally, we go over these processes with the metals mostly used in the industry. So that way, when our trainees leave, they're well-rounded and able to immediately jump into work. The skills that we teach stack from foundational level to more specialized. With the program, we provide lesson plans that walk each instructor through a suggested breakdown of how to complete the course for successfully credentialing the trainees. This lesson plan lists everything, including the equipment, the materials needed for instruction, the performance training hours, and a suggested hourly structure. We also provide tests that help prepare the trainees to complete the course. And with the program, the instructors also get access to interactive PowerPoint presentations, which focus on the key points for each module. Um, these PowerPoints remain modifiable, so in the end, the instructor has control of how the class will proceed in order to meet the particular requirements of your institution. One thing that I enjoy the most about working with this craft is that our program has partnered with Miller Electric to look into the future of training. So it's nice to see that Miller understands that attracting these young workers into the field on a limited budget is something challenging, and they have worked to provide us with um, new tools that will maintain these students competitive and also engaged in the learning process. Um, I like, well, what you're going to see, I like it because it's very realistic, highly portable, and has an intuitive design that is very simple for both the instructors and the students to maximize the efficiency of learning in the classroom. So before we go into Steve, I want to mention the NCCR Connect. Um, NCCR Connect is, we created that to provide an interactive learning experience to our students. It is a complete online learning management system that comes with embedded e-text. And whether you're using a print book or not, you have access to this e-text, and it can be used in a hybrid situation where you teach part of your class online as well as the hands-on skills in the lab, which is many institutions nowadays are working in this way since what we have had going on for the last 2 years. Um, and the access to these classes can be extended for students to be able to review and continue working after passing certain levels. Um, so with that in mind, we are trying to prepare our students to go into the workforce and become successful and learn the most they can while they're with us. With that, I'll go over to Steve.
Great, Dario. Thank you very much for the introduction. Everything that Dario said is excites us at Miller Electric. We are not, we don't develop this, we don't develop assessments nor develop curriculum per se. but we think NCCER has one of the best, or if not the best, welding curriculum in the country, and for that matter, the best received. There are multiple states across the country that actually promote NCCER as their preferred welding curriculum. So we basically have decided that because of that, we've come alongside them to develop some specific products to help deliver some of their curriculum in some of our power sources. So we are at Miller, we're, as the slide says here, very committed to the success of the welding industry as a whole. And we understand that welding education is really in the middle center of that success. And so we work hard to collaborate with welding educators and trainers to really develop the most innovative and engaging solutions to help them do their job efficient, but even better than they can without our stuff. So that being said, I just kind of want to jump into real quick. I don't think I have control to go to the next slide. Somebody else can help me with that. There we go. What we want to talk about today is how we're utilizing augmented reality technology to deliver some welding training experiences, if you will. And if you don't know what augmented reality is, the first thing that I always say when I'm presenting is, do you know any kids or your kids or people, kids in the neighborhood that have played Pokemon Go? And everybody's like, yes, of course we do. Well, that is perfect example of augmented reality and gamification, basically. What you see on this picture is somebody is using a device that has a video camera in it. And that video camera is actually seeing reality, videotaping or videoing reality. And the application for the Pokemon app actually will then download 3D objects on top of reality. So they're not really there, but you see them through your device. So it's taking 3D images and plopping them right over on top of reality. So it looks as if they're there. So we are taking this technology and using it for welding training as well. So on the next slide, we've got an example of how we utilize augmented reality. We have a device called AugmentedArc. And this AugmentedArc actually is a computer and monitor that provides feedback, but also inside the helmet, we have a monitor that actually utilizes 2 video cameras on the outside of the helmet that videos reality. But when you look at the parts that are kind of greenish blue, it will turn those parts into a piece of steel, stainless, or aluminum, depending on the application that you pick. So the student is actually looking at reality. They can see their hands, their gloves, they can see their desk, they can see everything in that classroom. But when they look at that part, like the T-joint there, they can actually weld that T-joint sitting in a classroom with accurate sound and visuals of that particular weldment as they're going through. And then after they get done, they are able to get an assessment on their technique. How well did they do to what the instructor has instructed them to do in regards to target values for different techniques like speed, how close you are to the workpiece, what your angles look like, what your aim is. And that feedback is given to the student. The student sees what they need to work on and then starts that assignment all over again and goes right back to it. And then gets that score again, just keeps going and improving. And then at the end of the day, actually can take that muscle memory that they've learned and translate that into the muscle memory needed in the actual weld booth. So this device actually saves time. The more the students use AugmentedArc, the less time it takes them to complete an assignment. And because of that, then it takes less consumables, less cost for that student to finish that assignment. So it's a great device. We also have the ability to deliver certain assignments in there, some reading material that we have for our open book that actually dovetails nicely with all the NCCER materials as well. And there are quizzes, and you can develop your own quizzes. You can stick NCCER quizzes in there if you would like. But we have introduced just in January our new version that includes NCCER welding assignments. So the next slide actually just goes into a little bit more in detail. We had to add a couple of additional coupons to our original 5 coupon set that came with the system. So today, if you ordered a augmented reality or augmented arc machine, you would get 7 coupons. So existing customers, if you're on the phone and you've already purchased an augmented arc, the new software that's available for you to download offers NCCER assignments, but you won't be able to do any of the V-bevel plate assignments unless you buy one of our kits, which you can go on MillerWelds.com, and we provide part numbers and pricing. You can work with your local welding distributor and purchase that part. The upgrade for the software is free, but if you want to have those additional coupons, you'll need them. So hard to see on the right-hand side there if anybody's looking at the presentation, but inside the box, when you turn this on and you select your profile and you open that up, you have access to some of our open book materials, but on the bottom of that upper image, the last light blue tile there, actually, when you click that, you are able to then open up into another screen that shows NCCER Welding Level 1 assignments and NCCER Welding Level 2 assignments. They are the same exact assignments that are available in your in the books or online. So when a student opens that up, they will be able to go right into that assignment that's already been created for them to utilize. Now, if you want to create your own, personal kind of directory, if you will, for your students, you can take any one of those assignments and add them to your courses if you would like to as well, and just deliver the ones that you use in your welding lab. So very easy to use. The Augmented Arc comes with teacher software. That's a free application as well that allows you to use any of those NCCER assignments, in a course that you want to create yourself. And by the way, you can also create courses or assignments that are, for what you have created for your students. So if there are a little bit different variations of different assignments that you've created for your students, in most cases, you are able to create that assignment in our teacher software and then deliver it to your students with the Augmented Arc system. So we are really, really excited because, as I said before, we think NCCER has the best welding curriculum in the country. And now we are able to deliver to schools that have NCCER this particular, level 1, level 2 assignments. Now, you don't have to be an NCCER customer to use these. We've decided to really offer this for free in the Augmented Arc. So you purchase an Augmented Arc and you're not an NCCER customer, we'd love for you to be an NCCER customer. But if you're not, you still are able to get access to these assignments. We want to show you what's available from NCCER and their assignments. And hopefully that's good stuff. And you want to look further into the NCCER curriculum as well as a possible purchase for your students. So I believe that is the major portion of it. Let's jump to the next slide. Yeah, so just in summary, Miller Electric, from a welding perspective, we have a lot of different resources, a lot of free resources for the classroom. Of course, our Augmented Arc is not a free resource, but you can put that in the classroom. So we have many things to help instructors in the classroom, but as well in the welding lab. Everybody knows this for the, our blue boxes, our welding equipment, but we have some training solutions there, posters, all different types of things. As well as special programs for pricing, for education end users, for equipment, for personal protection, and as well any filler metals, wires, rods, that sort of thing. We have special pricing through our local distributors. So if you have any questions on that, feel free to look me up at steve.hidden@millerwells.com, or ask some questions here. So Dario, I'll send it back to you to see if anybody has any specific questions on this new product and the delivery of your welding assignments in the Augmented Arc machine.
Sweet. Thank you, Steve. That was great. Um, I don't know if we can get some of those questions fielded our way. And Rachel, you can help me with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the questions that came through was, will the completed assignment in AR satisfy NCCER performance or hands-on requirements? Um,
It will not. So I
yeah.
can answer that right away. And Dario was going to jump in as well. So there is no substitution for real hands-on welding. And I get this question all over the country from, we don't expect our augmented reality assignments for anything that you build or that we provide to meet any criteria for hands-on. It still is not real. It's still augmented reality. So there still is that requirement for a student to get their hands dirty and actually pass those particular assignments in the weld lab.
Thank you for that.
Big. So we do have another question. I think this might be more for you, Steve. Is the screen in the shield more like a screen or more like a VR screen?
It is actually just almost like a phone monitor. It's a small monitor that actually has a special, what we call a phenol lens that provides a little bit more of a bigger view. But it's as if you're looking through your mobile device inside the helmet, if that makes sense. So just like you're looking into your screen here, you would be actually looking into it inside the helmet.
Oh, that's very cool. So, and then we had somebody ask if they already have Lincoln equipment, can they use NCCER curriculum with that? And I just want to say, just a note that the usage of simulation in conjunction with NCCER curriculum, it does require authorization from NCCER's accreditation department. So you can reach out to NCCER's accreditation department for specific information like that.
So what was the question in regards to Lincoln equipment?
Is if they already have Lincoln equipment, can they use NCCER curriculum with it?
Okay.
Oh yeah, of course. So our curriculum is not specific to any particular machines. We mostly go through the processes and how to operate everything in a safe way and keep the work environment safe.
But we will sell Miller equipment to anybody that's using Lincoln equipment. So that's
Perfect. And then we had another question about any images that we have, if we could show those of student experiences, like why they're using it. So while we won't show them here, that is something we can look into sending afterwards. So
Yeah, so that's a good question as well.
yeah.
So if there is anybody on the call that is interested in seeing, the Augmented Arc with the NCCER assignments, feel free to reach out to me at steve.hidden@millerwells.com, and I can get somebody from our local team involved and a local distributor, and we can figure out how to coordinate that if you'd like to see something in your classroom.
Perfect. And Jeffrey was wondering, besides the introduction of NCCER Welding Level 1 and 2, what updates come with the update?
Well, so the next version of software, really 90% of it is all the NCCER assignments that we've put into the system. There are a few bugs that we have fixed. Every time a new update comes out, there's always a few bugs that we find, just like your phone is updated on a regular basis. It's a free software upgrade. There is a cost to the other two coupons though. But it's mostly, like I said, 90% NCCER assignments integrated into the Augmented Arc.
And then we had another question. Will this work without the coupons, say if one was lost or damaged?
No, you have to have the coupons. The coupons have special markings, almost like QR codes. And so if you don't have the specific markings on that coupon for the application that you picked, the system just doesn't pick up anything. So it is important to have those types of our coupons to use with the system, and we do sell them individually as well as replacement parts.
Perfect. And Carla was wondering what processes can they practice with a 7 coupon kit?
Oh, that's a very good question. So we have all the basic. We have MIG, GMAW, short circuit only at this point. You can move the voltage up higher to actually spray, and we do have a designation for spray, but you can't pick an application for spray, but you can spray because you can actually change the voltage. And we have SMAW with 6010 and 7018 rod, I believe. Only 3 different size diameters. We also just your standard TIG process. We do offer a foot pedal if you would like to buy one of those as an accessory. And then which one did I miss? Stick, TIG, and MIG. No, those are the 3. So it's all the basic processes that most schools will be teaching in their first and second year for welding.
For that question, could you slide back, I think maybe 2 slides to where it shows the product?
Oh, there you go. Whoop, one more other way. Yeah, so you can see a MIG gun there that is attached to the system. There is a Stinger that actually has a motor drive in the front of it. So it actually feels like it's consuming that rod. It actually is, that rod is being moved at the speed of which you pick the diameter of the rod in the application. And then the TIG torch there is on the right. It does come with a push button on off, but you can also purchase the foot pedal as an accessory if you would like.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting to me as well, the way that it's set up, that you can really work on all the welding positions required by AWS. And you can set up the machine in all kinds of angles and everything like that. So it really allows you to go through everything that you will need once you get your hands dirty with the actual welding machine.
Yep, that's a good state. Actually out of position as well, you see that that stand on the right hand side there. You can do overhead and vertical up down as well with that particular device.
Great, thanks. I think we have one more question that came in. Well, a couple it looks like. So can these simulators be used in the same room as the welding equipment, or do they interfere with any of the welding equipment, specifically the TIG?
Yep. So they don't interfere with any of the other equipment. I mean, it's basically a computer. So if you if you get a computer close to TIG, it may react with the high frequency. But we don't recommend putting these machines in a welding environment because they are a computer. We don't have any wind tunnel technology or anything like we do in our welding equipment to keep all that metal dust off of the computer boards. So if you put it in a welding environment, it's going to absorb or suck in a lot of that metal dust. It'll sit on those boards and you'll have some shorts and that sort of thing. So we recommend it for controlled environments, if you will, not really controlled, but in classrooms and out of an industrial, grinding and welding environment.
Thank you. And I think we have time for 2 more questions. So first is, would it be better to have the lights on or off, the classroom lights on or off with this?
So the system automatically adjusts for the light. The first time you turn it on and an application is picked by the student, it will ask that student to actually align a couple of things visually, and then it adjusts for the lighting in that classroom. Now, a lot of times during the if it stays on for 5 or 6 hours, sometimes the lighting does change, but with a click of a button, you can adjust that again. It automatically will ask you to align those 2 circles, and then it'll adjust for the lighting in the classroom. So you can have no lights, bright lights, dim lights, whatever. It'll automatically adjust for the lighting in the environment that it's sitting in.
Perfect. And our final question is, when will the new coupons and updates be available?
So the new coupons, the system was introduced the first part of January. So if you buy a new Augmented Arc, you will get all 7 of those coupons and the NCCER assignments for level 1, level 2. And the coupon kits that are available, if you go online, you can get those part numbers. They are available as well. Right.
Fantastic. Yep. So I think that's all the time that we have for today. Really big thanks to Steve and Dario. We appreciate it. Again, we will be sending out a follow-up email with a recording and other resources and a few questions I think that were still unanswered. We'll make sure to get to those. Thank you so much for attending NCCER Miller's Welding webinar and have a wonderful day.
Have a good day. Thanks for joining.
Have a great day, everyone.